overview of the vasculitic pathogenesis shows that basically, I would like to mention that vasculitis is, as I have told, is inflammation in the wall of the vessels, which can be neutrophilic, it can be lymphocytic, or it can be granulomatous in nature. So this is the common picture of any inflammation. You have dolor, rubor, tumor, calor, and loss of function. So redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function is the pillars of all inflammatory processes, as you know. So this cartoon will show you normally inside the lumen of a vessel, the white blood cells, the polymorphs here you can see, as well as lymphocytes are moving smoothly inside the lumen without getting attached to the endothelial surface. But however, normally this picture is lost when there is some changes in the vessel lumen. The vessel endothelial cells have got receptors for various pro-inflammatory molecules, addition molecules, tumor necrosis factor alpha and interleukin 1, etc. And when these are upregulated, which is normally silent and quiescent, it can get disturbed. And what can happen is then the neutrophils no more move smoothly. They tend to come closer to the endothelial cells, stick to them, and come out between the gaps of the endothelial cells. And this extravasated cells release their products and cause local inflammatory response by releasing the neutrophil granules, their products, and causing injury of tissue by reactive oxygen intermediates, etc. Uh, so, so the lumen of the capillary normally, which is having free flow without any exudation of blood or the chemicals outside the vessel, is lost when this receptors for the various chemokines and addition molecules are upregulated, like between integrins, LFA1 and ICAM1 or TNF receptor. They get sticky, they roll over the endothelial surface, and they come out. So this is what is a broad picture of any inflammation, not necessarily of vasculitis.
The significance of anti-PCNA antibody in asymptomatic undiagnosed patient with already positive ANA.
You mean p-ANCA positivity?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you have that positivity by immunofluorescence, I think the questioner has asked about the immunofluorescence based p-ANCA, not ELISA based. When you do that, you must do using the same thing. You must repeat in Hep2 cell line. Whereas you do ANCA in neutrophil, you must screen that in Hep2 cell line. But I must tell you, as I mentioned to you, I am not in favor of doing immunofluorescence for ANCA. You should go straight away to ELISA, as the sensitivity of ELISA and the specificity and quantification is much more superior than indirect immunofluorescence, which is at the most semi-quantitative. So if the Hep2 cell line shows it is again a positive, it shows that it is ANA, it is not ANCA. So sometimes ANA positivity may give rise to a pattern of ANCA positivity if you use immunofluorescence. Whereas if you do ELISA, that doubt doesn't arise as long as you order in the right indication. If you order a test without a proper indication, you will end up getting false positive or false negative results, which is difficult to interpret, and you will not